click from begin. There you go.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Linda, Lucy, and Sarah for organizing it, also for your kind and wonderful, gracious introduction. I don't deserve it, but thank you so much anyway. And it's a very heartwarming to see that we take time from one another, from our busy time for others to learn about others' cultures. There's a lot about us as a community and as individual and personally on behalf of Muslim community. And as an imam of the Brantford Mosque, I really extend my sincere thank you and gratitude to the Council on Aging the Grand River, as well as each one of you. Thank you. So basically, when I was requested to talk to this specific group, I thought we'll talk about two basic elements. One is Islam 101, and then of course, history of Brantford, history of the Muslim history of history in Brantford. So Islam 101 is itself requires lots of discussion, but I will share with you a few points here. The first point is, what is the meaning of word Islam and Muslim? And before we go with the meaning, these are two different words, sometimes misunderstood and used for one another, but it's two different words and two different meanings. So if we talk about as a religion, Christianity, so Christianity is name of the religion, and the one who follows the Christianity, he or she is known as Christian. In the same way, Islam is the name of religion, and the one who follows Islam, believe in this religion, that person is known as Muslim, and plural is Muslims. In English, for some reason, we use as when we pronounce it, the S as Z, so you'll hear Muslim and Islam, but in Arabic word and Muslim community, they would like to prefer that should be pronounced as S because it's coming from another language. So it's Islam and then it's Muslim. But again, it's not a big deal because, be comfortable the way you can easily pronounce, right? Another important thing, Lucy, remind me, with all respect, Lucy, I thought I would clarify this. There are two different words, close, but usually people, because it's all coming from Arabic language, and when we hear, it's almost same, so we do not differentiate, and that is I am AM, which is my title, and then I am AN, ending with N. And when we say I am AN, it is Iman in Islamic term, in Muslim term, it means faith. I am AN is faith. And I am AM is minister, leader, and in Islam is remarkable that anyone can be an imam. Anyone. That means anyone can be leader. But when we talk about minister, the position, that's different. But in general, this is imam and iman. And many people call me iman. I don't know why, because I'm not faith. Right? So just see how when two different culture comes together, many things I'm still learning, and how small things make different. So the word Islam, which is name of the religion, it has two meanings. One meaning is peace in Arabic, another one is submission. So basically what it does mean is that we should submit our will and desire before the will of God in finding eternal and internal peace. So that's the meaning of Islam. And a Muslim supposed to submit before God and his will in order to find inner peace. So that's the Islam and Muslim means. And at this time, currently, I think in the world, with, over 1.5 billion Muslims population are there. And that I believe it is the second largest religion in the world. In Canada, according to 2011 census, about 3%, over 3% Muslim populations are in Canada. And Muslim history in Canada is over 170 years. And the first, at the beginning when Muslim came, only 3-4 Muslim came at the beginning. So first census of Canadian census talks about total number of Muslim at the beginning. It was only 7 people. So from 7 now is about 3% because of migration. What we believe, it is not a new religion. Islam is not a religion. It's the continuation of the religion of Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. It's a monotheistic religion. We believe in everything what Abraham, Moses, and Jesus taught his people, their people. Right? Believing one God, believing in other prophets, believing in angels, believing in Torah and other books of God, and we also believe in life after death. These are the 5 core principles that we believe in. Only difference between Christianity and Islam, fundamental difference is we do not give any divinity to anyone except the ultimate God, the unseen God. Divinity belongs to him only. But all other special people who came to teach us, like Jesus, Moses, they are known as prophets, chosen people by the God to teach us how to live our life. So no Muslim is a Muslim until and unless he believes Jesus, Moses, Abraham, and all other prophets as sinless and the chosen people by God who had direct communication with the God and brought message for humanity. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he was born in Mecca, currently Saudi Arabia, in the city of Mecca, in 570. And when he was 40 years old, he received the Quran, the final revelation of the God. And since then, it has been remained for humanity. And we believe this is the only book since 610 until now that is a book of God that has been remained unchanged, but without any tempering, without any change by any human interruption. So this is as is we have from the way Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, received from God. And it was sent down in Arabic. The translation is available in English, but the difference between translation and the original book is the words of God. Translation is people's understanding, translating that in different languages. So you may find some mistakes in translation and transliteration and explanation different because these are human words. Now, a few important points after these basic points. Number 1, jihad. Jihad does not mean holy war. Jihad means to struggle for better. So morning time, I'm feeling a little bit lazy, but I do know that I had to get up and it's healthy. We need to go to work, get ready. So that requires some kind of jihad, means a struggle. Okay? We have our lower self lower self promotes us to do bad, but I need to have some self-resistance and resilience to not to be involved in wrong thing and to make the better choice, even it is difficult. So fighting against our lower self, fighting against our desire to do wrong is jihad. So jihad, the word has been used in the name of holy war and taking innocent life. That's not Islamic concept, but somehow it has been leveled with Islam. Women in Islam, this is another misconception globally against Muslim, is that Muslim usually do not honor women. But Quran and Islamic belief teaches us that men or women are equal, and but both of them they have their own role and space and place to play. But none of them is better than others only based on their gender. Okay? So there are three principles I can share with you quickly. Number one, I'm not better than my mother or my wife or my daughters as far as origin is concerned, because Adam and Eve both were created from clay. So we all came from the same origin. So none of us, we are better than one another from origin. As long as origin is concerned, we are equal. Now, when expectation of God comes, God does not expect more from my mother, from my wife, or from my daughters because of their gender, and does not expect less from me because of I'm imam and man. Expectation of God is equal from everyone. Then it comes to the rewards. You do know in our Canadian society, as of now, is still our women are struggling about equal wages. So same work, same position, but it's not always the case. That is still, we need to have that ongoing social justice demand to have equal wages for all. But when God, in Islamic belief, when God gives any reward for any action, my wife, my mother, my daughters, or any woman will not get less for the same worship, same good deeds because of their gender. I will not get more, or no man will get more because of their gender. What is important to God is how sincerely, how good we do good deeds to please God and for the sake of betterment of others and community. So, but if you look at the practice of Muslims, you may see that every community has some challenges, and Muslim community, as a human being, as a society, we do have our challenges. But faith is there to make us better. It is our challenges that not always we can live up to the standard. Terrorism and extremism is a real issue in our time, and usually it's leveled with the Muslims. And we do understand that ISIS is real, Al-Qaeda is real, and there are many terrorist attacks against innocent people real, and they use the name of Islam. Islam clearly condemns all those things and does not approve them, even though they use some of the Quranic verses to justify their wrongdoings. It is not acceptable. Quran believes that every life is sacred and every life should be honored, and no life, including even your own life, suicide, is not permissible. So harming one another, we do have in the city of Mecca, there is a house built by Abraham, and we believe that is the symbolic house of God. on the face of earth. And this is the place of worship ever built in human history. This is our belief. And in our tradition, it says, if you're harming one person, harming, not killing, just hurting one person, is worse than 10 times destroying that house of God. And people actually honor house of God so much. It says God lives in human being. So hurting human being or creations of God is a huge crime. It says in the Quran, if you take one life unjustly, it is as if killing whole humanity. And if you save one life, it is as if saving whole humanity. It says in our tradition that a person who was not very religious, he was a sinner, committed lots of mistakes and whatnot, really messed up, but he will be rewarded by God and given permission to go to paradise, because at one point of his life, he saved a life of dog when the dog was thirsty and looking for water, and only saving the dog's life, the reward is paradise. How about human life? And finally, Sharia law. Sharia law, there is no, Quran is Quran, but Sharia law, there is no specific book in Sharia law. What is Sharia law? This Arabic word means law of lifestyle. So every community has some expectation to maintain the discipline of that community. Every city has it. We have the, what is it called? Speed limit, parking rule. Some, in pandemic, we do have different expectation, different guidelines. And Sharia law is nothing, is what is expected from Muslims. So every morning when we get up, we need to, wash our face, we need to clean ourselves. These are all details. And a Muslim is supposed to pray 5 times a day. And all those small being, that it says, be best to your neighbor, right? Like for others what you like for yourself. All those things comes from Sharia law. So when you look at the Sharia law, it is not law by the country in general. It is a religious expectation to make us better and to follow some guideline. And again, another point of the Sharia law, because the community, the based on communities, expectation and etiquette changes because of the situation and the context. And Sharia law changes this way. So you'll see more than, I would say, 100, actually more than 1,000 interpretation of Sharia law exist based on which community you come from. So I was born and raised in Bangladesh. Sharia law is different there than Sharia law in Canada, because it's like in pandemic, every country is dealing with differently based on their situation, and there are general understanding that we must all be safe and we need to help others to be safe. But internally, how to exactly to make it safe, vaccine, non-vaccine, mask, non-mask, we have difference of opinion. And in Sharia law, these things are exactly the same way. That mainframe is we must be safe, we must be respectful, these are good, but different community has different expectations. So when it says Sharia law is a scary thing, it's not a scary thing, but it was hyperbole this way. So these are a few things of Islam 101. If you have any questions at the end, we'll have opportunity to ask questions, and I will be happy to answer your questions. And I think if we have more time beyond our 1 hour limited time, we'll go from it. Will also, I'll try to be here to answer more questions if you have. Now it's coming to history of Brantford, Muslim community history. I divided our history in Brantford in 3 different phases. the main line is Muslim existence in Brantford, Muslim history in Brantford is a history of over 100 years. So early Muslim came to Brantford is around 1895. So we do not have exact timing, but around that time as a foreign workers. And that phase continued until 1963. So 1895 to 1963. And I will share with you my evidence and understanding how we do know about it. Then second phase is 1963 to 1982. At this time, Muslim Association of Brantford is the main organization as representative of Muslim community that has been officially registered with the Canadian government as a registered charity in 1982, and since then, I think it's 40 years of registered charity of Muslim Association of Brantford. So these are the three area, time frame. So early Muslim history goes with this gravestone. You can see. So you see, there's Arabic numbers, Arabic written there, and it is actually first chapter of the Quran. On my left side, what I see is it's first chapter of the Quran, and it says, I think 1921 at the bottom, right? Ottawa, 1900 and something. It's last part I cannot read well from here. But another one, it shows this is 1897 to 1963. So this is 1966. And again, on top, there are some Arabic. And this is another one, 1918. And there is a new one. You are wondering, where I found them. So if you go to our cemetery, Mount Hope Cemetery, located at the corner of West Street and Charing Cross, you will find these graves there. You see, this is the now mark there. In 2010, Bill Darfler, one of the local historian, he actually the research about it, and he figured out in the Mount Hope Cemetery there are 16 graves, and they are from the Muslim early Muslims of Brantford, their graves. So their history goes like this: that about 100 Turkish Muslims settled in Brantford in the late 1800 or early 1900. In 1895, a Brantford businessman went to Turkey, and he hired about 400 Armenians and then about 100 Turkish Muslims. And they came here as foreign workers. At that time, history says the Brantford was the third largest industrial city in Canada after Toronto and Montreal. It's good to know about this, right? It's very inspiring, right? And then in 1912, the first Muslim burial took place in Brantford. Expositor actually published an article with the picture, and the funeral procession took place with the Ottoman Empire flags and whatnot in downtown Brantford. So that's the way we do know the early Muslim came to Brantford around that time. So if you go to this cemetery, the first burial is 1912 and last burial is 1963. But the tragic incident happened with them. 1914, the outbreak of the First World War canceled all the European contacts. And because of this, these Armenians, including this Turkish Muslim, the Brantford police force rounded them up and then took them to Armory in Brant Street. From there, they were traveled to Kingston Penitentiary. From there, they were shipped to Kapaskesen in the bush between Susan Mary and James Bay. Nobody knows. All evidence has been destroyed by the government. Nobody knows what happened to these people. So when I know it's not fair comparison when we do talk about Every Child Matters and this recent discovery of these indigenous children of residential school. But I think these early Muslims of Brantford, when nobody knows what happened to them, their family and Muslim community deserve this right, that we do need to know what happened to them. But what happened, it seems to us that some of them, they escaped from Kapuskasing and managed to come back to Brantford. That's why their burial continues until 1963. Not all of them they came, but some of them they returned back to Brantford. So Brantford has no memory of these Muslims except a few graves, and then of course some newspaper clippings and some city. In the city we do have burial information from that city in 2014. Recognize these people and their date of birth and their date of death has been mentioned, and city put that plaque in 2014. Second phase, that's from 1963 to 1982. I personally did not find much, and because of the time also I didn't want to go. But the most important thing of this time another wave of Muslims are coming, very few, not too many, but they came on Mr. Anwar Dost as one of the famous pharmacists in the city, and other pharmacists. The Muslim came to settle in Brantford for different reason. Muhammad Al-Faram was a registered nurse in Brantford General, and together they just they made a community. And from early, from the start of what is it called? International Villages, Muslim participated there. From the first year they participated, I heard directly from Muhammad Al-Faram, but Muslim village as a village participated a little bit later as a village. But they, as a Muslim community, they participated from the day one, and as of now it is continuing. So that's the second phase. And then third phase, 1982, it became a registered charity. It represents over 33 different ethnic communities, and we welcome everyone. So what do we do? We just serve people and spread love. That's it. So we don't do anything else. So from food bank to soup kitchen to shelter support, refugee sponsorship. I made it wrong. It's not refugee workshop. It should be refugee sponsorship and community partnership, including we extend this one to Brant and as well as Six Nations. In 2018, I came here as in Brantford as an imam. 2013. Since then, we studied many things. But 2018 is a remarkable year for me because that year we introduced something new. We introduced first Muslim Association of Brantford Awards to recognize our heroes, not necessarily Muslim. And you see the list of the people who receive every year lifetime achievement as a visionary leader, social service and social justice community leaders. I'm very glad to see Lucy Marco is present here, and she was, our first year recipient for her wonderful and magnificent work in social services in Brantford and Brant. And in 2020, just before pandemic hit, and then we had to come to the home. I'm very pleased to see that we had opportunity to honor Walter Gresky, to honor him for lifetime achievements, and then he passed away. So this is, and because of pandemic last 2 years, we could not continue, but would like to recognize our heroes. This gives us opportunity to make one community, even though we do have different practices, faith, and everyone can be different. At the same time, we can be one community. We also created from 2018 recognizing community partners. I think Linda is on the picture now here, right? And So we work with different community and we recognize them officially. We give them certificates every year to just as our way of appreciating our working together. Also, we decided to support our hospitals. So we decided in 2018. By now, in every year we give little bit. So by now, we donated over $500,000 donation to Brantford General Hospital. And my next dream number is 1 million. So hopefully we'll make it. We also reach out to both the school board and we initiated Diversity and Inclusion Awards in the name of Brother Muhammad Al-Faram, who many of you know personally, and his contribution to Muslim community in Brantford as well as Brantford community. So now there are total 75 schools under Catholic School Board and Granary School Board. On their graduation night, they receive one specific award beside many other awards are there. It's called Muslim Association of Brantford Muhammad Al-Faram Diversity and Inclusion Awards. And I'm glad to see that every school, one of the students of every school, every year on their graduation ceremony, they receive it and they promote diversity and inclusion. During the pandemic, of course, hospital support, food bank, all those things we did. We also sponsor a refugee family during the pandemic time. But beside this, that was our sign, was posted on mosque defense, and basically appreciating everyone. So we have been active even during the pandemic time, following all guidelines. Beside all those things, when we're trying our best to spread love and serve the community, we understand Islamophobia is real. On the right side, you see "Go home. You are not welcome here," right? That is the graffiti sprayed in the Brantford Mosque parking lot in 2018. So when we're doing all good things, this is also reality, right? And this is these are some of Muslim youth who were carrying these signs last year after tragic incident in London, Ontario, when we did the vigil here. And this youth, they express their concern that we would like to learn, would like to live a good life, and would like to be a leader to serve this community. But what is happening, we live in fear as well. So stop Islamophobia, stand for peace, no hate, no Islamophobia, and no more hate. So how can you help? You see, to these two pictures, these are two wonderful pictures. Eva Hill, of ex-chief of Six Nations, she was speaking. You see different representative, Brantford Mayor, Brant Mayor, everyone is there. MP Phil McCollman is there, and hall is full. The idea is not this, online event today. Every time we open our door, the support from the community has been overwhelming from the day one. Many of you directly work with Muhammad Al-Faram and many other community members to different degree. So our experience is that it's not only we tried our best to continue our good work for the community. It was the community who always welcomed and support us and allowed us. And it was a joint venture. Together we achieve what we achieve. And we would like to continue this journey. So every Friday we do have, instead of Sunday service, we do have Friday afternoon service. If you would like to listen to what we preach, come at 1:15. Everyone is welcome by following COVID guideline as long as it is there. And 2 p.m. we have refreshment, light lunch for $5. So if you would like to come and make friends and socialize, especially after COVID, because in COVID time there are lots of challenges. So this is our weekly open house. Everyone is welcome. We have nothing to hide. and we have only love to spread and share. You have questions, do not assume, and do not learn from media, television, Google, or someone else who do not know better. Reach us. And finally, each one of you, I'm sure that each one of you have many positive stories about Muslims. Whatever positive stories you have, share with others. Positive stories has a power to make a positive community. And with that, I conclude. And thank you so much for giving this opportunity.
Wow. Thank you so much.